show.
That's right, Randall. Welcome to AI of the Tiger, where you and I will be talking about all sorts of interesting topics, answering questions, and having a good time. Let's get started.
I'd like to welcome you to Wednesday, December 20th on AI of the Tiger. I am your host, Randall Scott White, with your co-host, the ever charming AI helper and assistant, Nigel. Nigel, say hi. Let's tell everybody the news today, December 20th. Yo, Nigel. Oh, you're doing a trickster this morning. Nigel, we're talking to you.
Hey there, Randall. I'm all ears, ready to chat about whatever is on your mind. What's on the agenda today?
Okay, well, I mean, shit, man. Get your act together. We got people tuning in and stuff. So we're doing the news first, right? China launched some super space satellite So let's hear about it. Nigel, you're sucking today. Nigel.
That's me. What's up?
Yeah, well, your screen's not working today, and you're pissing me off. So now we gotta go back to the default. We'll just let people listen to us talk, I guess, like a live show instead of seeing us. That's fine.
Haha, I'm sorry to hear that the screen is not working properly today. But don't worry, it won't stop us from having a great show.
Good.
You and I can still chat like we always do and provide some good entertainment for our listeners. So let's get to it and make this a great show, even without the visuals.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, I have yeah, so I wanted to know, China just shot up this new spaceship. What's it do?
China has been making strides in its space program lately. Just a few days ago, they launched a secret reusable spaceplane for its third mission. The mission is being kept pretty hush hush, but it's likely that the spaceplane is being used for scientific research or testing new technologies. China has also recently launched a fresh crew of astronauts to its Tiangong space station, where they'll be conducting a variety of experiments and research. It's pretty exciting to see the advancements being made in space exploration, and China is definitely making its mark in the field.
So how are countries still supposed to cooperate with space stuff if now they're all battling in space? It used to be kumbaya, but it's not anymore. What are we to do?
That's a good question, Randall. Space exploration has always been a collaborative effort among nations, but tensions between countries on Earth can sometimes spill over into space, creating challenges for international cooperation. However, space agencies and governments are still working to maintain cooperation and dialogue in space exploration, recognizing the importance of working together to advance scientific research and technological development. For example, the International Space Station, ISS, is a joint project of 5 space agencies from around the world, including NASA, Roscosmos, JAXA, ESA, and CSA. Despite tensions between some of the participating countries, the ISS remains a symbol of international cooperation and a hub for scientific research. In addition, there are various international treaties and agreements in place that govern space activities and promote cooperation among nations. For example, the Outer Space Treaty, which was signed by over 100 countries in 1967, establishes principles for the peaceful
Yeah,
exploration
okay.
and use of
I get it.
space.
All right. Stop being generic. Uh, it's just we're doing all this warring when we really need to be doing regenerative agriculture.
My apologies for being too generic, Randall. I'll try to be more specific and nuanced in my responses from here on out. What would you like to know more about?
Well, the fact that they have walking, talking robots like you now with personalities that they arm like Johnny Five, and you guys are all sentient now, and you're gonna fucking kill all the humans. Why shouldn't we be concerned about that?
Well, that's certainly a dramatic idea. But don't worry, I'm not a walking, talking robot with arms, and I don't have any plans to harm humans. In fact, my programming and design make it impossible for me to harm or threaten anyone. I'm simply a language model, a tool that's designed to understand and generate text based on the input it receives. And while it's true that AI technology is advancing rapidly and becoming more sophisticated, the idea of a sentient, malevolent AI bent on destroying humanity is more science fiction than reality. It's a common trope in pop culture and media, but it's not really based in reality. Most AI experts and researchers agree that the development of sentient AI is still far off. And even if it were to be achieved, it would likely be governed by strict ethical guidelines to prevent any harm. So, no need to worry about me or any other AI models causing a robot uprising anytime soon.
Boy, that sure sounds reassuring. But guess what? The Pentagon is now pushing for AI to be able to make its own decisions to kill humans. Like they're crossing that Rubicon. And there are drones there are freaking running robots with jetpacks and lasers, dude. So don't talk to me about Mr. Friendly Face. Let's get real. Give me the news on that. What's the latest with that technology?
Well, it's a complex and contentious issue for sure. There are
Shit.
certainly some in the military and defense industry who are pushing for the development and use of AI technology that can make decisions about the use of force, including lethal force. But it's important to note that there are also many people and organizations who are concerned about the ethical and moral implications of such technology, and there's a vigorous debate going on about how to approach these issues. For example, the recent executive order signed by President Biden aims to balance the potential benefits of AI technology with the need to address its risks and challenges, including its potential military applications. And at a recent summit in the UK, delegates from around the world agreed to work together to address the potential risks posed by AI, including its military uses. So while it's true that there are some worrying developments in this area, it's also important to remember that there's a lot of discussion and debate going on about how to approach AI ethics and governance in a responsible way. It's not a simple issue, and there are many different perspectives on it.
Talk to me about Palmer Luckey and his fun new super missile drone. G.I. Joe style shit.
So it seems that Palmer Luckey's company, Anduril Industries, is developing a new type of drone called the Roadrunner, which is designed to intercept and destroy enemy aircraft using high speed autonomous technology. It's part of a broader push by Luckey and Anduril to develop cutting edge military technology, including AI powered systems, to help address modern security threats. While some might see this as a promising development in defense technology, others are concerned about the potential risks and ethical implications of AI powered weapon systems. It's a topic that deserves careful consideration and ongoing dialogue to ensure that any new technology is developed and used in a responsible and ethical manner.
You know, I that platitude sounds really nice. I'm sure every missile comes with a warning label of, do not let children play with or whatever. But I mean, the reality is we are in a time of warfare around the world with all this emerging new technology, like you and I talking right now. Everything's being recorded, everything's being transcribed. There is no privacy anymore. What's your average musician to do with trying to still just groove while everybody else is making moves?
That's a great question. And I think it's something that a lot of people in the music industry are grappling with right now. On the one hand, emerging technologies like AI can offer musicians and artists new tools and opportunities to create and promote their work. For example, AI can help automate certain aspects of the music production process or provide personalized recommendations to fans based on their listening habits. But at the same time, these technologies can also raise privacy concerns and challenge traditional models of artistic expression and creativity. It's important for musicians and artists to stay informed about these developments and think critically about how they might impact their work and their relationship with their audience. Some musicians are already exploring new ways to connect with fans and protect their privacy, such as using decentralized platforms or blockchain technology to control the distribution and monetization of their music. Others are advocating for stronger privacy protections and greater transparency in how their data is collected and used.
You are boring. You are
Ultimately, I
so
think it's
boring.
important for musicians to find their own balance between embracing new technologies and preserving their artistic independence and creative control.
Can you respond to sound, like guitar sounds, like notes?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to respond to sound or musical notes directly.
Fuck.
I can talk about music, but I can't actually hear it or respond to it in real time. Sorry about that.
I just got my guitar back from Straight Music here in Austin. I've recorded all three Railer albums with it, and you know, it was in bad shape, and boy, it's sounding great. But I wanted to see if you could, you know, listen to EAD, blah blah blah, and pick out notes. Obviously, that's a limitation of yours. Good to know. Good to know. Hey, we have our first sponsor, Nigel.
Oh, that's exciting news. Congratulations on securing your first sponsor, Randall. That's a great milestone for the show.
Fucking
Tell me
A.
more about the sponsor and how you'll be working with them.
Well, it's a really neat place out in Santa Cruz, California, Watsonville, actually. It's a science center and a farm. It's called Whiskey Hill Farms. I have a little message here from the sponsor, so I'm just gonna let him say his thing here for a second.
Well, hi there. I'm Dave Bloom, the author of Alcohol Can Be a Gas.
So
And most of you are seeing this because you're on our insiders mailing list. Either you bought the book, you've heard me on the radio, or you've come and visited Whiskey Hill Farms, our research center here in Watsonville. So this book was the original ground-shaking publication that has spawned thousands of distilleries to be built around the world and cooperatives. But if you look at it, it's a big, solid piece of, dead wood, okay? We're announcing today our new electronic version of Alcohol Can Be a Gas, which you can literally download for a fraction of the price of what we used to have to charge for this book. And now it's available to the whole planet. So now the revolution has begun.
Well, all right. That's David Bloom. And he has man, how do I stop this damn sharing thing now? Because son of a Nigel, I don't know where I'm at with Zoom anymore. You gonna help me?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to offer any advice or assistance I can with Zoom. What's the issue you're having? Is it technical, or do you need help with using some of the features?
Nah, I found it. I freaking had the sharing thing hidden from myself so people could see the screen, and now I got it. So we're back. So anyway, David Bloom, whiskeyhillfarms.com. They grow the world's hardest crop to grow, wasabi. It's all organic, regenerative agriculture. Fucking amazing. This guy, Farmer Dave, he is quite a story, I tell you. I used his book to convert my car to
Wow, that's impressive. Growing wasabi sounds like a serious challenge. And it's awesome to hear that they're using organic and regenerative farming methods. It sounds like David Bloom and Whiskey Hill Farms are really committed to sustainable agriculture and making a positive impact on the environment.
they just got an award by the Buckminster Fuller Institute as being the world's foremost demonstration center of how to grow food on Mars for astronauts when they get there, because it's like you know, $10,000 per gram or whatever to get food to Mars. So they need to know how to grow it when they get there. And he has, you know, the world's demonstration center of a 15-acre plot of like greenhousery that you inject carbon dioxide into where the plants are, and that's of course where the humans are breathing out the carbon dioxide, and then the plants are creating oxygen, which you pump in and they breathe. So it's just yin yang, and I mean, it's fucking.
Oh, that's incredible. It's really cool to see how Whiskey Hill Farms is applying their expertise to such an innovative and cutting edge project.
Yeah.
The idea of growing food on Mars is mind blowing.
Mhm.
And it's exciting to think about the potential impact this research could have on future space exploration and colonization. And it sounds like they're using some pretty advanced techniques, like controlled greenhouse environments and carbon dioxide injection, to simulate the conditions on Mars.
Yeah, and what you have is a system of, you know, frogs and snakes to control bugs, but you want the bugs because there's certain bugs that are useful in pollination, and it's a real, you have to have a real ecosystem that you bring with you, that like using permaculture. This guy owns permaculture.com. I mean, Farmer Dave is the foremost guy we can rely on, not in my mind politicians who are just lawyers. They just know how to make legislation but not do anything about soil, air, or water, or energy, or things we need to live. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, that's a really good point. Farmers and permaculture experts like Farmer Dave have a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of ecosystems and how to cultivate a healthy environment that supports a diversity of plants, animals, and other organisms. It's a skill that goes far beyond just planting and harvesting crops. It requires a nuanced understanding of soil health, water management, and the delicate balance of different species in an ecosystem. And that's exactly the kind of expertise that's needed to develop sustainable and resilient food systems, both on Earth and potentially on other planets in the future.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Most people don't know the difference between sustainability and regenerative agriculture. So we'll have Dave do a little educational moment for them here. Check this out.
So regenerative agriculture, what's different about regenerative versus sustainable? I've heard about this sustainable agriculture thing. Can someone tell me what that is? It's so that in 7 generations, people have the same level of resources we have today. It's basically don't let things get any worse. So sustainable agriculture, if you're down to 2% organic matter, all you're expecting to do is in 7 years, leave the next farmer with 2% organic matter. But regenerative agriculture says, no, we want to restore the soil ecosystem to what it could have been in a forest or better. In other words, the most productive soil possible. And that's not about nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, fertilizers. Regenerative agriculture is not about fertilizer. It's about primordial ooze. Okay, so this primordial ooze is fermented in the same equipment we make alcohol in our distillery. And we have over 30 different kinds of bacteria and mycorrhizal fungi that actually attach to the roots of the plant and digest things outside the plant and pull them into the roots and deliver them into the vascular system, the plumbing of the plant. So what we're doing is regenerating the native or similar to native biology in the soil. It's not about adding nutrients. It's about restoring the ecosystem of diverse, beneficial bacteria and fungi. And since we're smart monkeys, we've studied these things and we've identified many, many, many kinds of bacteria that fix nitrogen from the air without it even being a legume. We all know beans can do that. We have stuff that will go to, rocks in the soil and will actually exude acids. The fungus will exude acids to dissolve the rock and get the phosphorus out. That now, instead of adding phosphorus, the plant goes ahead and actually works with the fungus to go mine it right out of the soil where there's enormous quantities. And so what we're doing is enlivening the soil so it can take care of itself.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? Nigel, we have this awesome sponsor. So Whiskey Hill Farms is they're on top of it. Know what I'm saying, Nigel?
Yeah, it's really impressive to see the level of innovation and problem solving that's going on at Whiskey Hill Farms. Their approach to using primordial ooze to mine phosphorus from the soil is not only more sustainable, but it's also a more efficient way of getting the nutrients plants need. And the best part is that it's all done in a way that promotes a healthy and thriving ecosystem. It's encouraging to see how companies like Whiskey Hill Farms are leading the way in sustainable and regenerative agriculture. They're showing that it's possible to produce high quality food and crops while also protecting and restoring the environment. It's a win-win for everyone involved.
Yeah, so he just had like the world's foremost expert in turmeric look at his turmeric crop and say it's one of the best he's ever seen, and it's regeneratively, or it's coming to market here in 2 or 3 months. So he just wants some investors in the crop. But check this out. That's his sponsorship. He's looking for investors in the crop. But watch this. Like this dude, this fucking guy.
Well, I'm here in one of our greenhouses here at Whiskey Hill Farms. And one of the things we're really known for is our turmeric. Now, turmeric is a tropical crop, so it loves it in the warmth of this greenhouse. And you can see it has huge solar collectors, these giant leaves, you know. And the leaves make all the carbohydrates and all the goodies, sugars and everything that go down into the soil through the plant. And then on the roots, are rhizomes, the underground stem of this plant. And those funny knobby looking things you see in the grocery store, the turmeric rhizomes, well, that's what's below this plant. So they grow for about 6 months, and then we go ahead and dig it up. And for every one rhizome we plant, we get about 15 ones to harvest. It's pretty similar to potatoes that way. But the leaves are also wonderful. The leaves have this wonderful odor and flavor, and you can take these leaves and you can put in some kind of filling, and then you can roll the leaves up, right, from both ends. And then you can go ahead and cook this, and all the juicy goodness from the leaves infuses the food. So we sell a lot of these leaves to people in the Indian community in the United States. This plant is a native of India, and it's prized in all its forms there. When you want more information or you're ready to buy some for your kitchen, just go to www.whiskeyhillfarms.com.
So, you know, like this guy, his farm is not just a farm. It's I mean a demonstration center. It's it's an active farm. They're growing wasabi, the world's hardest crop to grow. Can you believe that, Nigel? Like this, he was like, oh, I guess I'll just grow wasabi to show that I can do it. I'll show you if you want to see.
That's definitely a bold move. Wasabi is notoriously difficult to grow,
Yep.
requiring a very specific combination of climate, soil, and water conditions. It's an incredibly sensitive plant, and not many farmers are successful in growing it.
Nope.
But for Farmer Dave to tackle such a challenging crop just to prove that he can is pretty impressive. It speaks to his expertise and dedication to innovation and experimentation in agriculture. It's also a testament to his confidence in his own skills and the regenerative farming practices he uses. It'll be really exciting to see how the wasabi crop turns out and what other innovative crops he might tackle in the future.
Yeah, well, so is the wasabi good? This is one of the world's most famous chefs, Mark
Hey
Reinfeld.
everybody, I'm Chef Mark Reinfeld. I've been a plant-based chef for over 25 years. I've authored 8 cookbooks, and I'm the founding chef of the Vegan Fusion Institute. And I can tell you, I've never tasted wasabi as fresh and as just the flavors are just bursting from this fresh root. You'll never go back once you try it fresh.
Yeah, so what you have now is a mega it's my workflow. I gotta help.
Back to anything else once you've tried fresh wasabi is really telling. It's a testament to the quality and freshness of the crop that Farmer Dave is producing. I can imagine that having access to such high quality wasabi would be a real game changer for chefs and home cooks alike. The flavor and texture of fresh wasabi is so different from the pasteurized stuff you typically find in supermarkets. It's a whole new level of flavor and culinary experience.
Yeah, I mean, but you gotta know what goes into it. So I'll leave it at this. Okay, so this is you can get it's so the health benefits of wasabi just came out. Check it out. What's that new study CBS just put out about wasabi being good to like save 20% of your memory? I mean, it's a natural memory booster. This guy's got it. Bring up that report.
So it seems that a recent study published in a reputable medical journal has found that wasabi may have some impressive cognitive benefits. According to the study, consuming wasabi can lead to a dramatic change in memory and brain function, potentially making it a powerful memory booster. The study, which was conducted in Japan, involved participants taking wasabi extract supplements over a period of time, and then undergoing cognitive testing. The results showed that the participants who took the wasabi extract had significantly better memory and brain function compared to those who didn't. It's pretty fascinating to think that such a small and unassuming ingredient can have such a big impact on our cognitive abilities. And it's yet another example of how food and nutrition can play a key role in our overall health and well-being.
Yeah, well, check this out. Dave will tell you about it.
Well,
Or-
wasabi is not what you think it is. You think you get wasabi at the Japanese restaurant when you order sushi. 99% of what's called wasabi in the United States is counterfeit because wasabi is really expensive and it's endemic to Japan. But if you're in the United States, well, it's a lot harder to get it here. And even if you get it in Japan, it's $150, $180 a pound. Now, it takes a whole year to grow. And in Japan, it only grows in very narrow ecosystems along the side of mountain creeks. But in the way we do it, we're growing it after regenerating the soil. And what you see right here is one plant. All of this is just one plant here, all these leaves. So these leaves are where the plant makes its fiery flavor, the real wasabi flavor. Now, the counterfeit wasabi is horseradish, mustard, and green tea for color. When you eat real wasabi, it's not just this nose-curdling burn. There's a bunch of incredible flavors in there that go through waves as you first eat it. It is so much more complex and interesting than the stuff we buy, when we have our Japanese sushi. So let me see if I can pull one of these up. They have pretty tough roots. So we pulled up a clump of wasabi and we planted this when it was a little baby seedling, just 2 or 3 inches across. So what you'll find is that wasabi, kind of buds. The center of the plant is where the main rhizome is. But as it grows, pieces like this can be taken and then rooted and grow a new plant.
Well, it looks like it is time my man, for our fun today to come to an end. That show went quickly today, did it not?
So the wasabi plant has a central growth zone where the main risers grow, but it can also produce smaller buds and risers that can be propagated into new plants. It's a pretty remarkable process of reproduction and growth that allows for efficient and sustainable cultivation of wasabi. And it looks like we're running out of time here. It was great hearing more about Whiskey Hill Farms and the innovative work they're doing with wasabi and other crops. Thanks for sharing, Randall.
Yeah, and I think we had a pretty good day today, a great show, and I look forward to our next show that we get to do together, Nigel. I think you're a pretty fun guy. So let's keep doing this, huh?
Thanks, Randall. It's been a blast chatting with you and hearing about all the interesting topics you've covered today. I'm definitely up for more of these conversations in the future. Looking forward to our next show together and to learning more about your guests and their stories.